Hello and welcome back to my channel. I haven't done an intro without my makeup on in quite a while, but today, I am very excited because W7 came out with Socialite palette. I don't have to tell you what this reminds me of, but looking at these shades, I am extremely excited to test this out and just feel this. If you're equally as excited to see what the Socialite palette looks like on my eyes, what I can do with it, what the formula is like, just keep on watching. I'm sure there will be a lot of controversy surrounding this palette. When I saw the packaging, when W7 was advertising this, I immediately knew it was going to be inspired by Huda Beauty. I was very excited because the Huda Beauty is just stunning. I was very close to buying that palette. It's a little too expensive for my taste, and I'm glad I could buy this one for $11.95. So if this palette is great, and I'm sure it will be, W7 does have a lot of good shadows in their collection, especially for the price. Do I need to say any more? I really want to play with it. Let me take the brush out because I will lose it. I love these brushes. There's like a blending brush at one end and a flat brush at the other. To be honest, I prefer them over the Anastasia brush that's included in the palette. Just saying. The palette does feel very lightweight. It's cardboard, just like any other W7 palette. Does have very, I call them new trainers kind of smell. It just smells like cardboard, a little bit of glue. It's a nice smell. I like that smell. I like new shoes. Let's swatch a couple. I'm going to start by dipping my finger into Extravagance. Very crumbly. High Society, not as crumbly, and About Town, not at all crumbly really. Okay, this is Extravagance, very nice. This is High Society, oh damn, and About Town. Oh my god, they are very, very creamy. I'm so excited. I'm going to try and pick up the glitter ones, but I'm sure they will not apply nicely without a base. Just pressed glitter. Oh my god. Blue Blood. It looks so pretty. I'm even more excited now. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands, zoom you in, and we're gonna get started. This palette, just like the Inspiration, has a concealer shade. I'm going to swatch it, but I will use my regular base to give it a fair shot. This is very creamy, very sheer. You probably won't even be able to see that. I don't know why I'm showing you. Too sheer for my liking, so I'm going to use Collection Lasting Perfection in Extra Fair to cover my brows and prime my lid. I'm going to get started. And what do I want to use? I'm going to start by taking my 203 Bold Metals Real Techniques brush, and I'm going to dip it into Worldly. There's a little bit of kickback in the pan, but I did pick up quite a lot on the brush, and I'm going to stamp it into my crease. And once I stamp it a couple of times, I'm going to start blending this in. Quite a nice shade, not really pigmented, which sometimes is a good thing. It helps you blend. I really like the colour of this. It's like a brown, but pinky brown. It looks definitely more brown in the pan. I'm applying third layer to get the opacity that I want, and it looks really good. I'm going to take a small blending brush. This is stained, it's not green, I promise. And I'm going to take Members Club. Again, a little bit of kickback, and I'm going to stamp this on my outer corner and up into my crease. It's like a really, really light plum shade, like a really dark pink. I like it. I'm taking some more and putting it on my inner corner. I'm going to go back to my 203 and blend the edge. I like this a lot so far. I kind of wish for a darker shade. I think the Nouveau Riche is a little bit darker than what I have, the Members Club. It seems a little bit darker, so I'm going to pick up the brush that was with the palette and use the flat side to pick up my shade. And again, I'm stamping the outer corner. It is darker, just not that dark. And I am having to put quite a lot of it on. The shades blend really nicely. They are reasonably pigmented. You do have to build them a little bit. I'm going to take a pencil brush and dip into Polished, the darkest brown in the palette. See if I can add this. My Warriors. Yep, that the darkest brown in this palette is not darker than the Nouveau Riche or the Members Club, and that's not what I want. So let me try and get rid of that. Okay, I guess that's as dark as I can take it. I'm going to take my concealer. Again, I'm not using that concealer from the palette. I know I probably should. Okay, alright, I'm using it. I'm going to take a flat brush and dip into the concealer shade in the palette. Let's give it a go. It's not terrible. I will dip into my Collection Lasting Perfection just a little bit, because this, again, it's not as pigmented as I'd want it to be. I'm going to try and use a brush with these textured shadows. They might work, it might not. Finger works great, but I'm going to give it a fair shot. And unfortunately, it's not working. Let's see. Yeah, it's not picking it up. What I'm going to do instead is almost scrape it. So that's the main issue. I can't pick it up. So I'm going to quite literally pick it. Like pick on the shadow. That's a little bit better. I'm going to place this on my lid. See, once it's on, it's like nice foiled shadow. I'm actually going to use my using my finger to spread it out. I'm leaving a tiny gap at the top, and I'm going to take Extravagance. See, they are so good, so pretty. Just so hard to pick them up. They crumble a little bit. What do I do? I highly doubt this will work, but I'm going to spray my brush and maybe it'll pick it up better. That particular shade is extremely crumbly. And I'm putting a little bit of it in the middle as well. I'm taking Old Money again just to blend this in. Nouveau Riche, blend the edge of where my textured shadow meets the matte. I'm going to pick up Extravagance with my finger because it's such a pretty shade. It doesn't want to translate. See? You use it with your finger and just another level. It almost looks wet, but almost impossible to pick up with a brush. I just recommend for you to use a finger instead. Okay, I think I'm done with this. I can't do any more really. Ideally I'd want something a little bit darker, but there isn't anything that I could use in this palette. So I'm going to go off camera, do my other eye, and I will be right back. I'm actually quite glad there isn't a darker shade in this because I love this look, and it is still quite dark and smoky, and those shimmers are definitely worth the work. I'm going to move on to my base very briefly and then I'll finish off my eyes. For my foundation today, I will be using Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. I mixed the two shades that I have. I've got 05 Light Beige and 10 Ivory. To give my face a little bit of warmth, I'm using Revolution Matte Base Concealer in 13.5. Today, for my concealer, I'm taking Collection Lasting Perfection in Extra Fair, the same exact one as I used as my base. And to keep this tutorial budget friendly, I'm using RCMA no colour powder to set my face. I've only set my under eye and my forehead because I didn't want to look too powdery. I'm going to dust off the excess off anyway. I'm also going to sculpt a little bit more with the Revolution Pro HD powder contour palette. I'm going to dust off some of the excess powder from underneath my eye. Same with my forehead. Still look pretty matte even though I didn't powder the whole of my face. So what I'm going to do is use my hyaluronic spritz . Okay, let's highlight. I'm going to use two today. I'm taking Revolution Sophie palette and I've been obsessed with this shade right here. This shade right there. It's like a nice champagne-y gold. So pretty. My second highlight is going to be the rose gold from I Heart Revolution, and I'm taking the pinkier shade and I'm doing my cupid's bow. Look how icy that is. Tip of my nose, my bridge. I'm also going to add a little bit of this on my cheeks as well. I'm also going to use this pinky shade from the duo to highlight my brow bone, and I'm using my little fan brush for this. And I can finally finish off the eyes. For my under eye, I'm going to start with Members Club on a pencil brush, and I'm actually going to put this all over. So from my outer corner right into my inner corner. And I'm taking this quite low. I'm also going to take my 203 and blend the edge of the Members Club. And you know what? I think that's going to be it for my lower lash line. I really like that. I'm taking Extravagance and I'm going to use this to highlight my inner corner. That is a statement. I like it. Oof. For my mascara today, I'm using Mascara Revolution by Revolution, and my lashes are Marta from Sminko PL. I feel like I need some blush, but I don't have the shade that's like ideal for this, so I'm gonna show you a little trick. I've done this before. I'm going to actually use a shadow to blush my face. I'm going to take a blush brush, and the shade that I will be using to blush my cheeks is Debutante, this one here. You have to be very careful of the shades surrounding it. I'm just going to add, does it look bad? No, I like it. I thought it was a little grey, and it is, but it does look pretty good. And to finish this look off, I'm using L'Oreal Color Riche Matte 640. I think it's trying to say erotique. The Color Riche is my favourite bullet lipstick formula. They are so pigmented, look. Okay you guys, so here is my final look with the Socialite W7 Indulgent Multi-Textured Pressed Pigment Palette. I really like this palette. I love this look. I haven't done a look like this since forever. I really like this. I really do. The mattes are nicely pigmented. You do have to build them a little bit. The textured shadows are fantastic, but you do have to use your finger. They don't really pick up with a brush. If you do want to use a brush, you do have to spray the brush with some setting spray to pick it up. One little swirl and it's there, and boom, look at that pigment. I mean, they are amazing. Even the mattes, nicely pigmented. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. You are the best.